Hey everybody, this is Jay from the forum group of Remax. Thank you for watching my video, and if this is the first time, welcome aboard, my friends. So as always, if you enjoy the content, please like, click, and share. Greatly appreciated there. So I wanted to just discuss again that we are not in a housing bubble. With all the highlights and the headlines and the buzz in the media, there's a lot of consumers out there that believe that the market is in a housing bubble. So I just want to reiterate, we are not in a housing bubble, and I got some concrete evidence to prove it. As the housing market shifts, you might be wondering what's happening next. It's only natural, right? For some concerns to creep in, that you think we're going to be basically repeating what took place back in 2028. The good news is, here's some concrete data to show you why it's nothing like last time. First and foremost, there's a shortage of homes on the market available today, not a surplus. The supply of inventory needs to sustain a normal real estate market is approximately 6 months worth of inventory. So in 6 months, we're basically a neutral marketplace. And if more than that, we have an overabundance of homes, and this will cause prices to depreciate. Anything less than a shortage, anything less than that rather, that's a shortage, which we are in now. And this is going to lead to a continued price appreciation. For historical content, there were too many homes for sale during the last housing crisis, many of which were foreclosures and short sales. I remember going online and in Providence alone, seeing like 300 to 400 multifamily available or multifamily homes that were foreclosures. It was just out of control. And that caused the prices to tumble. Today, supply is growing, but there is still a shortage of homes available. This graph right here is from the National Association of Realtors, and it's showing how this time compares to the crash. Today, unsold inventory nationally sits right around 3-month supply at its current sales pace. Another thing was, mortgage standards are much more relaxed than they are during the crash than they are now. During the lead up to the housing crisis, it was much more easier to get a home loan than it is today. This graph right here has data from the Mortgage Credit Availability Index, and this is coming from the Mortgage Bankers Association. So you can see the higher the number, the easier it was to get a mortgage. Running up to 2006, banks were creating artificial demand by lowering lender standards and making it possible and easier for just about anybody to qualify for a home loan and or get a refinance in their current home. They're literally just giving mortgages out. You have a pull to buy 2 houses, you're good to go. So back then, the lending institutions took a greater risk in both the personal and the mortgage products they offered, and that led to a mass default, foreclosures, and the falling of prices. Today, things are different, and purchasers face much higher standards for the mortgage companies than they did back then. Stricter standards like they are today help prevent a risk of rash or foreclosures like it was last time around. And then the foreclosure volume is nothing like it was during the crash either. The most obvious difference is the number of homeowners that were facing foreclosures after the housing bubble burst. Foreclosure activity has been on the way down since the crash because buyers today are more qualified and less likely to default on their loans than before. The data below is used by ATTOM Data Solutions, and it's helping to tell the story here. Homeowners today are equity rich. They're not tapped out. In the run-up to the housing bubble, some homeowners were using their equity as a personal ATM machine. Many immediately withdraw their equity once it was built. When the value started to fall, some homeowners found themselves in a negative equity position where the amount they owed was a lot greater than the value of their home today. So some of those households just decided to walk away from the house, and that led to another wave of distressed properties, foreclosure, short sales, which sold at a considerable discount that lowered the values of the home in the area. So today prices have risen nicely over the last few years, and it's given homeowners an equity boost. With the average, I think right now the home equity in average most homeowners have today is about $207,000, and it's a completely different position to be in this time around, homeowners. So the bottom line is, if you're really worried about making the same mistake that led up to the housing crisis, these graphs should hopefully alleviate some of that concern, and the concrete evidence and the expert insight will clearly show you why this is nothing like last time. So sleep easy, guys. We're not in a crash. It's just going to be a reset. slowly soften in prices, but we're not going to see anything that's going to be that dramatic. Hopefully this information is helpful for you guys. I'll talk to you soon.